Yes, I am still lost in the library, but this time we're also lost in space and aliens are coming after us. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leandra the TBR Zero. I'm the host of TBRathon, a year-long event, and every single first weekend of the month, I participate in TBRathon sprints, and I'm trying to read every single book that I end up collecting in my Lost in the Library TBR game. There's definitely still time to participate in TBRathon, so I will have the announcement video linked below. However, there's a second readathon that I definitely need to discuss, and that is the one that's involving these aliens. Books with Lexi has come back with her 4th annual Escape the Readathon. She's outdone herself once again with a space adventure. We are trying to escape a spaceship that has been rearranged by these pesky aliens, and really only one team can escape. Unless I misunderstood that. Maybe we all can escape? I don't think so. I think it's cutthroat. There are 4 teams. I'm lucky to be a co-host with the engineers, and my co-hosts are Jordan and Madison. We've got a really strong team. I understand if you want to hang out with the other great co-hosts, but if you're thinking the engineers is where it's at, I will have the link in the description to Lexi's announcement video. I will definitely need to keep up my strength while escaping these aliens, and to do that, I'll be relying on the fuel-forward recipes found over at Craftsy, today's sponsor. Craftsy has a supportive online community made up of over 2,000 amazing classes. From fiber arts like quilting or sewing, to being creative in the kitchen with cake decorating or baking. As someone who finds my own kitchen a foreign country sometimes, I'm excited to up my cooking skills and feed my body as it deserves to be fed. The first recipes I'll be trying, you ask? Big Bowls Hearty Vegetarian Meals with James Beard award-winning chef Martha Rose Shulman. She gives me 7 to choose from. But my stomach is currently leaning toward the Mexican rice bowl with black beans and greens. Craftsy is truly your online resource for all things creative, meaning it has something for everyone. Photography, knitting, learning how to write, but also drawing and crochet for beginners and advanced learners. And as a beginner in crochet myself, I can confirm that it definitely works. Looking at the blanket behind me, it was my first ever project and I'm so proud of it. The first 1,000 of you watching this video who scan the QR code on screen or take advantage of the link in my description will get your first full year of Craftsy Premium for just $1.49. This offer is valid for new members only. Take advantage of it if you can. Thank you again, Craftsy, for sponsoring this video. All right, because I am going to be a co-host for Escape the Readathon, I figure I should be kind to myself while being lost in the library, and so I'm going to take my ghost, I'm going to take my D6, and just roll to my heart's content. We will stop whenever I stop, whenever I feel I've got a really good stack of prompts to work with, and that's going to be my TBR for May. For those who are new, there is no beginning or end. I simply decide which room I want to start in. It's a bit of a gimme prompt, ensuring that I get at least one book I just choose from based on whether it's a YA book, nonfiction, adult fiction. There are 6 rooms. You will see what I'm talking about. And what I'm going to do is, per usual, I'm just going to start in the adult fiction room because that's usually the books I'm reading, and it'll just ensure that one priority read definitely gets on this TBR this month. And I might as well tell you what book it is that I'm making a priority in May. That is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. This is the first choice for my new book club over at YouTube memberships. I did an entire announcement video transitioning from Patreon to YouTube memberships. If you're interested in joining, click the link below. Is it a link? It's a button. Click the join button below. So you can join us for our first book club option, or you can also check out my announcement video if you want to learn a little bit more before you make that decision to join my community. I'm really excited about Princess Bride because I've never read the book. I may have listened to a read aloud of the abridged version while in elementary school. The details are a little bit fuzzy. I've definitely seen the movie, so there will be some comparing, some contrasting, and I'm just really excited to see people coming at this narrative from different perspectives. I'm coming from, with fresh eyes. Other people, I'm sure, who are already in the club, who are already in the library, are excited to reread it. Maybe it's been years. I'm also reading this for our fantasy. I'm trying to do a genre face-off where I have a full fantasy board go up against a full sci-fi board, and this is my fantasy option specifically for the published in the 1970s square. I'm so excited. And for those who are interested in seeing how this is going to fit for my Escape the Readathon prompts, my idea is that this could fit for the Sleeping Lodge. There might be others, but that was the first one I saw, and so I put it down for that, if that prompt even comes up or if I read for that prompt. I'm also quite lucky to have the Folio Society special edition, and so there are beautiful illustrations throughout the narrative. I mean, this is just a little bit of a sneak peek. I think it's gonna just enhance my reading tenfold. I can't wait. Okay, I'm gonna grab my ghostie and place him in adult fiction as I planned, and that's about as far as my plan went. I never really go into this with any idea of what I want to get for prompts, so let's just roll the die. And I got a 2, so I could do TBR, hobby break, new or old, book on the cover. I think I want to go TBR. That seems solid. 1, 2. Weirdly enough, while the TBR prompt is quite easy at surface level, it's just a book that I own, or at least that's on my TBR. I want to read it. Maybe I borrowed it from the library. It's also quite hard to choose because it's one of the least specific prompts, and there's just too many options. What I've decided to go with is Jitterbug by Gareth Powell. I feel like it's fitting with Escape the Readathon just around the corner. It's also a priority read for me because it was a part of my Illumicrate Starbright box, and I'm trying to stay on top of those. I'm testing it out. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this subscription. In fact, the next box I've already skipped because I haven't gotten to this, and I don't want all of these books adding up and suddenly I'm stressed about spending money on books I'm not reading. Hence why I try to read every single book I buy. It's 3rd year running. We'll see if I get to 100% this time around. It is a beautiful edition though. I really like the sprayed edges. I love the illustrations on the inside flap. What is that called? End pages? That's what it is. And it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting first contact story. I think that's actually what I'm reading this for when it comes to our fantasy, my sci-fi board. I'm pretty sure I put this down for the first contact square. And then for Escape the Readathon, I'm pretty sure it counts for Tech Center because that prompt is asking you to read a book that an author you've already loved has promoted. And this has been promoted by Adrian Tchaikovsky himself, an author that I definitely adore. On Earth, they depicted justice as blindfolded and impartial. But out here on the frontier, she was red in tooth and claw. Oh, that sounds so good. Let's do my next roll. And if you can't see that, let me pull it closer. I got a 5. Lots of options. Do I go right at the fork or do I turn left? I feel like I'm gonna go up and left. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 through the room, AAPI author. So with my second roll, I got a 5, and I decided to make my way through and around the manga graphic novel room, landing on AAPI author, and the title I'm holding has been on numerous TBRs before, and I'm starting to get sick of myself. Leandra, you need to read this book, especially because it fits not only for an Escape the Readathon prompt, but I have recently put it on my R Fantasy Bingo board. That is Hamajang Luck by Makana Yamamoto. I need to read this. I want to read it so badly. To my understanding, it's dystopian with a heist narrative, and our main character is non-binary, which fits for the R Fantasy board of a trans or non-binary main character. I just need to read it. I feel like it's going to be for me. The only problem that might be the reason why I'm hesitant is because I want it to be a physical read. I do have access to the audio. I started it not long ago, and I don't think I really vibed with the voice of the voice narrator, and so I want to read it physically. It's just that other physical reads keep taking priority, and so it's my fault. I am the problem. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy that so far I'm 3 for 3 with physical owned books. We'll see if this roll, a 3, keeps that going. I could go down to middle grade. I don't want to do that. I could go backtrack. Now we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 5-star prediction. Why not? Honestly, even 5-star prediction, that one's become a harder prompt for me to fulfill alongside TBR because it does give me a lot of options, but also puts pressure on the book that I want to read. And this one, I'm doing a bit of cherry picking from an April book that I know I'm not going to get to, but there's a really good reason for this one, I promise. That book is The Infinite Sadness of Small Appliances by Glenn Dixon. I was really hungry to read this in April. However, the one caveat to that is I should be reading it with my friend Danny Dabbles, and so our plan is to read it in May together. Oh, and this one I would count for Winston's Lounge for myself because it's thanks to BookTube that it even got on my radar. It was in an anticipated releases video, specifically I think it was Danny's that I watched, and so it got on my radar, and now she and myself are reading it together, so it kind of is coming full circle. Either roll number 3 or 4. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let me make that a bit more visible. It was a 6. I'm not gonna roll again. Okay, so, oh my gosh, maybe I should, because this is absolutely insane. Which direction do I want to go in? I don't think I want to go backwards, and I don't want to go back up. So I think what I'll probably do is go down and around. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through that little passageway to renewal. At this point, I feel like the aliens and the library are shaming me into putting books on my TBR that have been on my TBR before, and now I'm just embarrassing myself. So with this next roll, I decided to land on renewal, and the book I'm going to be reading is A Potency of Ungovernable Impulses by Malka Older. I'm gonna do it. Look me in the eyes. I promise you I'm gonna read this book. This is another title that I swear I have had on multiple TBRs. I definitely put it on a few TBRs in 2025 when it first came out because I was hoping to catch up with the series, and yet here we are. It's 2026 and I still haven't read this sci-fi mystery second chance romance novella. Did I also mention? No, I didn't. It's a Sherlockian reimagining. So, I mean, come on. Why am I not reading this? Okay, maybe I can answer that question immediately. Part of me wants to reread the series, not because I feel the need to do so to enter this third book in the Massa and Plady series. I just want to get a refresh and enjoy books 1 and 2 for their own merit. I felt as though every time I picked up those books, I was rushing through them. I just want to enjoy the language. I want to enjoy the plotting of the mystery. And I also feel as though I keep giving this book, both books, 3-star range when I feel like they should be at least a solid 4 or higher. Hence why I want to reread them. And hence why I still want to read book 3, even though so far it's just been a 3-star series for me. I don't really know. Let me know if that makes sense to you. I feel weird explaining this. But yeah, so part of the reason why I don't want to read book 3 yet is because I feel like I need to read books 1 and 2 again, ensuring that they aren't actually 3-star reads for me. Let's see if I can keep embarrassing myself with old TBR books. A 5, another 5. Okay. For some reason, I don't like backtracking, basically, so I never want to go back down and following the path where I just came from. So I feel as though I'm going to move forward. I just don't know if I should turn right at Hobby Break or left. Ooh, you know what? I think I know where I'm going to land. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Banned book. I've got the perfect book. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I landed on the banned book square, and so I saw my opportunity, I grabbed it, and as you heard in my voiceover, I had the perfect book in mind. That is Celestial Monsters by Aidan Thomas. This is the sequel to the Sunbearer Trials, which I read a couple years ago thanks to XO Joe. She recommended it to me, and I was genuinely surprised I loved it. Not for any really big reason beyond the fact that it's YA. I enjoy fantasy narratives, and you know what? It's also Trials. Why did I like that book? It was just really well written. I thought it was fun. The humor was great, and I really appreciated the representation of a trans main character. And speaking of which, this is my fantasy option for trans and non-binary main character in our fantasy. So actually in this board and this Lost in the Library board, I actually have both representations. So can you tell I know which square I want to tackle next in my vlog series that I haven't even shared yet. Basically what I'm trying to do is I want to vlog as many squares as possible as I do the genre face-off, and I'm in the middle of my first vlog for it, but I want to make sure I have a few titles lined up for the second episode whenever that comes out. And obviously, you know one of the squares that I'm hoping to read soon, and that is the trans non-binary main character one. So yeah, I'm really excited to also finish out this duology. So if you're looking for a duology, if you still haven't kind of planned out your Our Fantasy board, there are 2 squares, duology 1, duology 2. You're kind of reading part 1 and part 2. This one, Sunbearer Trials, obviously fits for that as well if you don't want to read it for the square I'm reading it for. Okay, let's roll again. Oh my gosh. So is that the third 5? I wonder if that's my lucky number. Maybe I should have stopped at 5 rolls. Is this my 5th roll? Why can't I remember that? I don't know why I can't keep track. But okay, where do I want to go next? I've already gone up, and I really don't want to go into the community area this time. For some reason, I'm not feeling that way. So I guess maybe I should backtrack a little bit. I don't know. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could stop, actually. Latinx author. I haven't landed on that in a really long time, if ever. Did I? I think that's where I'm gonna go, honestly. So yeah, that works for me. Let me grab it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Latinx author. That feels great. Perfect. And with another 5, I decided to land on Latinx author. And this, I think, is my sign to stop rolling, because I am going to be double dipping and counting 1 book for 2 prompts, and that's the last book I just mentioned, Celestial Monsters by Aiden Thomas. That is a Latinx author, so I was like, okay, perfect. I'm pretty happy with my stack of books. There's a couple others that I'm going to throw at you just so you know that they're on my radar, but Lost in the Library isn't requiring that I read them. Okay, so getting one out of the way that pairs well with The Princess Bride. If you were paying attention, I guess you didn't have to. This is your choice. If I'm just here in the background, hello from the background. I am reading Princess Bride for the 1970 square. That is for the fantasy board. The question is, what am I going to read for the sci-fi board? Well, I have selected a different title than I originally put on my TBR, just because the book I said I was going to read, quite a few people were like, oh, Leandra, I don't think that's a you book. I don't think you're going to enjoy it, so you're setting yourself up for failure. So I decided to go back to the drawing board, and I found a title known as Midworld by Alan Dean Foster. He's well known for writing movie tie-ins and a bunch of other sci-fi series, but I have realized I've never read anything by him. Midworld seems really interesting, first contact, and I'm wondering if there's going to be some discussions regarding like colonialism, imperialism, environmentalism. Yeah, I'm willing to give him a shot. He's going to be the first time I've ever tried him. Another book I would like to see myself pick up sometime in May is The Lady in Chains by Bonnie Quinn. This is because I've pre-ordered it. It should be in my hands within the first week of May. And I had such a good time with the first book in the series, The Man with No Shadow. This is fantasy horror set in a campground, and it's also quite campy in tone. It really reminds me of Direct Descendant, as well as Lucky Day or Bury Your Gaze, kind of campy horror. Even The September House, lots of humor mixed with some grotesque depictions, and just a really compelling story arc in general. I'm really pumped for this sequel. The final book that I'm putting down as a possibility for May is The Keeper by Tana French. This is the 3rd book in the Cale Hooper series, a series that should never have been. The Searcher was supposed to be a standalone, and then French realized she had more to say following Cale Hooper and the other characters in this rural Irish town, this rural community of secrets and paranoia and some dark things going on. And I'm so glad that she did it, because The Hunter I actually liked better, and it was my favorite mystery, one of my favorite books of the year whenever I read that. So what was that? That couldn't have been last year. Was it 2024? Oh my gosh, time flies. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm very much looking forward to this continuation. Actually, I end up having this cloth bookmark that was gifted to me by my director over at the library. So I'll definitely be using this as I read this very exciting sequel, one of my most anticipated books of the year. Per usual, it's a stack that I'm proud of, that I'm really excited to read, as long as everything goes to plan. I've got 6 official books on the TBR, and then 3 floaters. We'll see if I get to them. If I don't, no pressure. And a good mix of new to me authors, authors that I've read from before, continuations of series, and one that I'm especially excited for, The Princess Bride. If you've read it, let me know in the comments what I should anticipate. Do you think that I'll enjoy it? Or are you like, oh, Leandra, you're starting your book club off with not a great choice for yourself? We'll have to see what the comments say. Thank you all so much for getting to the end. I really do appreciate you. If you're not feeling chatty, I have a very fun prompt for you. I'm pretty proud of it. So if you want to leave me some emojis because you just don't have much to say, you want to prove that you got to the end, you want me to have some good self-esteem for the day because it makes me feel better knowing that people have been watching my video, how about you provide me emojis with the color of the book you are currently reading or you recently finished. So if you aren't currently reading a book, how about the color, the predominant color of the book that you just finished not long ago? Yeah, that'd be very fun. And then it's a nice variety, colorful emojis in the comments. People are gonna be like, what the heck is going on? Maybe it'll get them excited and they'll be like, what was the prompt that Leandra had at the end of the video? I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it right to the end. I don't know. Anyways, thank you all so much, and I hope that you are eating well, drinking some water. Have you had water during this video? If not, go get yourself a glass. And I also hope you're having some good books on your side, by your side. Okay, bye everybody.